In military history, some missions are remarkable for their achievements and the crucial lessons they provide. Such a mission was the forgotten DEVGRU mission no one talks about. This was the Barawe raid. Carried out by the elite SEAL Team 6, also known as DEVGRU, this bold mission aimed to capture Ikrima, a notorious Somali insurgent leader. This operation occurred in the early morning of October 5, 2013, in Barawa, a coastal town in Somalia. It faced unexpected challenges and failed as planned. However, the Barawe raid symbolizes the extraordinary courage and determination of the SEALs who participated. Abdikadir Mohammed. Abdikadir, known as Ikrima, was linked with Al-Shabaab, a group recognized as terrorists. This group caused major disruption in the region. Intelligence indicated Ikrima was plotting attacks against government and UN sites in Kenya. His capture or neutralization was a high priority. At that time, he was on the most wanted list, with a reward of $3 million for information leading to his capture. The mission started with a bold approach. SEAL Team 6 operatives used a fast boat from the Indian Ocean to reach Barawa's coast. To boost the assault's chances and ensure a smooth exit, 3 extra small boats with additional SEALs were positioned on each side of the main vessel. This backup was key, enhancing the leading team's capacity and preparedness. The Barawe raid in 2013 presented unique operational challenges for DEVGRU, SEAL Team 6, primarily due to the lack of an extensive support network in other regions like Afghanistan and Iraq. The operation began with DEVGRU operatives arriving in Barawe via a single fast boat from the Indian Ocean, supported by several other boats. This approach was already a deviation from the more comprehensive support infrastructure available in other theaters of operation. As the SEALs moved towards their target, a 2-story beachfront house, they encountered unexpectedly strong resistance. The presence of innocent civilians, including women and children, in the target building further complicated the mission. This humanitarian concern, coupled with the fierce resistance from Al-Shabaab fighters and the arrival of enemy reinforcements, led to the decision to abort the mission. The SEALs focused on a beachfront 2-story house thought to be Ikrima's hideout. This place was important because it harbored foreign members of Al-Shabaab, a group behind the recent deadly attack on a Kenyan mall, claiming 67 lives. The local community was aware of these insurgents' presence, emphasizing the urgency of the SEALs' mission to end this reign of terror. Just as the SEALs were about to enter the house, an insurgent casually stepped out, smoking a cigarette, unaware of their presence. He suddenly began shooting, alerting others and disrupting the SEALs' surprise advantage. A fierce gun battle erupted, with several insurgents joining in. Even in this intense scenario, the SEALs advanced, using flashbang grenades to navigate through the compound. During the intense conflict, the SEALs occasionally saw Ikrima inside the compound. However, their mission to capture him was complicated by nearby civilians, including women and children. Prioritizing their safety, the SEALs chose to abort the mission, diminishing the chances of capturing Ikrima alive. As the situation grew more dangerous, with enemy reinforcements arriving from surrounding areas, the SEALs outnumbered, facing hundreds of combatants. This forced them into a strategic withdrawal towards the beach. They remained tactically alert throughout their retreat, periodically stopping to assess the situation and consider whether to re-engage. This demonstrated their steadfast commitment and strategic thinking, despite overwhelming odds and the difficult decision to abort the primary objective. Reaching their boats, the SEALs swiftly regrouped and left for their base, disappearing into the darkness. The intense withdrawal led to some of their gear being left behind, reflecting the mission's urgency and their focus on safeguarding each other. Items left included a flak jacket, a flashbang grenade, ammunition, and a Garmin GPS. Blood traces were also found, indicating at least one SEAL was injured and might have shed these items while being treated. Impressively, despite the fierce encounter, None of the SEALs lost their lives, though at least one insurgent was killed. As the SEALs vanished into the night, their departure marked the beginning of a new chapter for the people of Barawa. After the 2013 Barawa raid by DEVGRU, SEAL Team 6, the local community in Barawa experienced increased tension and unease. The insurgent group, Al-Shabaab, responded to the failed SEAL Team 6 mission by deploying more heavily armed fighters throughout the town. They also fortified their positions by strategically placing anti-aircraft weapons along the beachfront, a move to solidify their control over the region and deter future attacks. This escalation by the insurgents led to growing discomfort and suspicion within the local population. The presence of armed insurgents on the streets of Barawa and the fortified positions along the coast increased the atmosphere of fear and insecurity. Additionally, there was a rising suspicion among the locals regarding the possible involvement of informants who might have assisted U.S. intelligence in identifying the targeted house during the operation. This mistrust fueled a genuine search for suspected informants within the community, resulting in the arrest of a man known to frequent the local internet cafe. Following the unsuccessful Barawa raid, the insurgent group swiftly escalated their security measures in Barawa. They deployed heavily armed fighters to patrol the town and strategically placed anti-aircraft weapons along the beachfront. These actions were intended to strengthen their hold over the region and deter future assaults. The augmented presence of armed insurgents, however, unsettled the local population. There was growing suspicion that informants might have assisted U.S. intelligence in locating the targeted house for the raid. This led to a vigilant search for these suspected collaborators within the community. The tense atmosphere resulted in the apprehension of a man who was a regular at the local internet cafe, suspected of being an informant. Since 2008, Barawa has been a stronghold for insurgents, offering refuge to key figures, especially after they lost Mogadishu and other towns in 2011. One of the most significant refugees was Ahmed Gudan, who was wanted for the Westgate Mall attacks in Kenya. His presence in Barawa heightened the tense atmosphere, adding complexity to the situation. Despite the difficulties encountered in the Barawa raid, the mission was not without its achievements. Notably, none of the SEALs were killed, showcasing their expertise, rigorous training, and bravery. Conversely, the operation did result in the death of at least one insurgent during the intense firefight.